While cricket's not considered an extreme sport, I can tell you that it's brutal. As a batter, I'll do hours upon hours of practice in the nets. I'll get out in the middle. I make one mistake, and that's it for me for the day. This wonderful but brutal game of cricket has gifted me some very simple lessons about achieving peak performance. Absolute mastery of what you do is unattainable. And I'm here to tell you that that is great news. My key message today: performing at your peak occurs through seeking mastery and constantly sharpening the tools that might just get you there. I would like to share 2 tools for mastery of self, and then 3 tools of creating mastery in others. And these are tools that anyone and any team can use. Tools for mastery of self. Firstly, learning to see discomfort as a gift. Discomfort's not nice, but it can be good for you. Kind of like Brussels sprouts or molasses. Did any parent feed you molasses as a child? I'm not sure that has any benefit. It was uncomfortable. Discomfort is instructive. If you use it well, it can show you the gaps in your progression towards mastery of what you've chosen to do. There were plenty of moments of discomfort in my 15-year career playing for Australia, but there is one particular moment of discomfort that does stand out to me. It was my contract meeting with Cricket Australia about 3 or 4 years ago. The head coach and the head selector in the room, and my annual contract meeting, I'm about to receive some news. I get the good news first. Congrats, Alex, you're going to be contracted this year. You've received a high ranking in the contract list. We love what you do in one-day cricket. You're number 1 ranked, sorry, that's ambitious, number 4 ranked batter in the world for 50 over cricket. We love your leadership. You're the vice captain of the side. But here's the bad news that I receive. Alex, we don't see you in our plans for T20 cricket going forward. Now this is an absolutely massive blow for a 12-year veteran of the side and the vice captain, because T20 cricket is the dominant format of our game. So very troubling news. And there was 2 ways I could have received this message. 2 ways I could have thought about it. They really don't think I'm a good batter, and they don't really want me in the side. They'd rather see the back of me. Or the other way to see it: thank you for this transparency. I made a choice to see the feedback as a gift. It was very clear to me what my task was: to become a destructive T20 batter, to figure that out. I did figure it out. They were forced to select me for the next 2 years in the T20 side. I raised my 6 hitting ability by 500% in 1 season. It was like I'd been driving a sports car in 5th gear and didn't realise there was a 6th gear. And figuring it out, it was so much fun. I achieved batting performances that I didn't know I was capable of. I've since thanked that coach and selector for their honest feedback, albeit hard to hear in that moment. because without it, I would never have discovered just how good I could be. So discomfort, it's not always nice, but it can be a gift. So a second tool for mastery of self. Get clear on your role and exactly what skill set has got you chosen for that role. Getting clear on why you've been chosen for a role provides an opportunity to become process-focused rather than outcome-focused. And in my 15 years experience playing for Australia, I've come to realise that being process-focused gives me the best opportunity to achieve results when under extreme pressure. I recall a really helpful conversation I had with my Australian coach in the 2016 T20 World Cup in India. I was feeling uncomfortable because he'd listed me at number 6 in the batting order, which typically is the last recognised batter in the team. I was feeling rather unutilised in that position, so I asked the coach for a chat. He took the time to explain to me why my skills were perfectly suited to the number 6 spot. My skill set includes innovative ramps, reverse sweeps. These are shots that were quite unique at the time. Everyone plays them now. And I'm able to manipulate the field immediately from ball 1. So this makes me an excellent batter in the middle order against the spin bowlers because I don't need to face too many balls to have a very big impact on the game. I got clear on my role, and that was to be brave, continue to play my innovative shots even under the greatest amount of pressure, and I could do that for the team. This coach, he made it clear to me that it's not about how many runs you get, Alex. It's about how you're getting them. So it was process, not outcome. As it turns out, I actually did that role really well, and by the end of the tournament, I'd been promoted to number 5. And I was very happy about that. So I'll move on to tools for creating mastery in others. I guess this would be a position of a coach or a teammate, and we've heard from some wonderful coaches already today. The first tool for creating mastery in others, you need to foster a growth mindset in your people. And this is a really big concept, and I'm happy to say that changing people's mindset is not easy. If someone was to have a growth mindset, I would sort of describe them as a student of mastery, someone who is seeking the answers. The opposite of that, a fixed mindset, someone who feels they've reached their level of mastery and have all the answers. I've actually witnessed someone being able to switch a person's mindset from the fixed state to the growth state. And it happened to me. It was at the 50 over World Cup 2017. After 2 years of post receiving my difficult feedback that brought my batting into question, I'd been working with a wonderful new coach, Mark, for 2 great years. We had a lot of fun, and my progression towards batting mastery was significant. But it was on the eve of the World Cup semi-final against India that I was struck down with paralysing doubts. I started to believe that my best performances had been and gone, and that perhaps I had passed it. So from Derby in England, I FaceTimed Mark on the eve of this massive game. He was back in Australia and he said something really powerful to me. Alex, you're still an unfinished product. There is still work for us to do. You've not peaked yet. So from the other side of the world, Mark's choice of words reinforced to me that I'm on the way up and that he is here to help me explore batting mastery even further. His attitude was projected through his words, and attitude can come through body language as well. If your attitude about your team members is that they have more to give, if that is your attitude, you've probably already signalled it to them in some way. And it's likely that they will actually give more. I draw on what Janet spoke about earlier. This, I think, is an example of the pull people toward the possibilities. So what actually happened the next day? A world record. A 10th wicket, highest partnership in the history of our game, I was a part of with a wonderful teammate, Kristen Beams. My best ever performance, 90 off 56 balls, and I nearly did the impossible to get our team over the line when we just had no right to get even close. So it was a very, very good day, and Mark was right, I hadn't reached my peak the night before. So the second tool to help create mastery in others, make crystal clear what their role is and what skill set has put them there. And this tool about getting clear on role and why the person is there has already been discussed. And I guess it emphasises that I think it's really important. I think it's really important that leaders and coaches meet your people halfway on this. The benefits of meeting halfway on role and why they're there, it's really twofold. I've firstly explained that it kept me process focused when I was under pressure. Why have I been chosen? What's most important about how I operate right now? But the second thing is, it opens up a conversation about what other roles that member of your team might be interested in. And therefore, what skill sets they might need to develop in order to be appropriate for that role. So back when I was at number 6 in the team, and I asked the coach for a chat, if I said I want to open the batting tomorrow, he had an opportunity then to say, Alex, these are the types of skill sets you would need to work on to then be appropriate for that role. And that can be a wonderful conversation, not a negative one. I want to finish with a really important tool about creating mastery in others. You must demonstrate in your team that all people are valued within your team. It's not enough to just talk about diversity. You've actually got to do stuff about it. Be prepared to examine your own environment for factors that might be inadvertently demonstrating that some are welcome and others aren't completely welcome. It's really important that you listen when people speak up if their experience is that they aren't feeling valued. This is just gold. this clue is just so important to a leader of a team. Be ready to listen rather than jump on the defensive immediately, which would be the tendency. Diversity creates a stimulus for discomfort. It's not always easy to understand the different ways of thinking and the different worldviews, but diversity really is a gift for teams. Lots of research out there about that. So diversity is an essential tool for growth towards self and team mastery. I grew up in the world of sport, and unfortunately, as a child, a teenager, and a young adult, I was exposed regularly to subtle messages that being gay in sport was not welcome. In 2012, however, there was a line in the sand moment for me. I decided to stop listening to the homophobic messages that were surrounding me in sport and surrounding me in society. It sounds easy, but it was incredibly hard. I came out as gay publicly in 2012, becoming the first Australian cricketer to do so. And I created discomfort within my sport, no doubt about it. Within my personal world, I stopped buying into the idea there was something wrong with me, because this belief was really holding me back. I gave myself a chance to reach my full potential. It's no surprises that since that moment that I stopped listening, that my best ever performances as an athlete and as a person have followed. To their credit, cricket, as a big family, has taken strong action to make homophobia, like racism, unacceptable. Now, by the actions within my sport, cricket demonstrates to me that I am welcome. It's really important to demonstrate to all your people that they are truly valued in order for them to reach their potential and for your team to reach theirs. An example of the action that's occurred in cricket. Cricket asked me to lead the Mardi Gras on their behalf. It doesn't get much more public than that. Cricket have invited me to participate in policy development for LGBTI inclusion, and very soon we're going to be able to announce our trans and gender diverse inclusion policy in cricket. So to sum up, I've shared with you today a couple of tools around achieving mastery in self. They are simply viewing discomfort as a gift and getting clear on your role and why you're there. I've also shared with you how to possibly create mastery in others, and the tools are to foster a growth mindset in others, to get them clear on their role and why they're in it, and to demonstrate with action that all people are valuable within your team. Performing at your peak, it occurs through seeking mastery that is unattainable and through constantly sharpening the tools that might just get you there. Thank you.